It was a cold Halloween morning in 2019 when Colby Trickle called 911.
My wife shot herself.
Trickle met deputies outside his home in Hays, Kansas.
Did he seem upset?
I mean, there were tears coming down, and it was hard to understand, was choked up.
Kristen Trickle was still alive when first responders arrived, but they said she couldn't be saved.
After you did your autopsy, how did you rule on Kristen Trickle's death? Homicide or suicide?
Suicide.
Suicide.
Yep. The victim's family in this, right out of the gate, was just adamant that this was not a suicide.
When Kristen's Aunt Delynn and Uncle Brant Rice heard Kristen took her own life, they couldn't believe it.
What did you tell investigators initially? We just don't think she would do this?
Oh, 100%. I said, there's no way of all the people I know in this world, the last person that I would ever think would take their own life would be Kristen because of the joy she has.
They said Kristen's family and her 2 dogs meant the world to her.
The thought of her hurting herself in any way.
Or anyone.
Or anyone is so foreign. She would never take her life and not tie up loose ends with her family, make sure her dogs had somewhere to go.
Detective J.B. Burkholder had also been called to the scene. To him, this didn't seem like suicide.
Having a female with a gunshot wound, especially to the head, was unusual for us.
Why? Why is that more unusual for women, you think?
For women, they're a little bit more concerned about looks, even after death, and so they think about that.
Burkholder pointed out some other things that seemed unusual.
When I got there, I remember an alarm going off. I think I actually silenced it. She had set an alarm to get up, to get ready for work, and had plans for that day. A lot of times individuals who are thinking about suicide, they're not setting alarms. It doesn't matter when they get up. There was candy set out in the kitchen area. She and Colby had planned for Halloween to go on as it normally would with trick-or-treating.
And he said nothing troubled him more than the weapon found at the scene.
The gun was a full-size .357 revolver, a large caliber weapon, approximately 11 to 12 inches. It can be hard to handle. And so being able to place that gun under your chin and discharge that firearm just didn't seem very likely for a smaller female in what was described as a dark bedroom. This wasn't an open and shut suicide case. There was questions.